Hello and welcome to Network. My name is Sphumelele Zondi with your technology and social media news. Now, if you want to be a part of this particular technology conversation, you can find us on SABC Network. Now, that's on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. newsnetwork@sabc.co.za and email. Here's what's coming up in the program. We take a look at evolving technologies in industries such as architecture and automotive. We will also go to Kenya to find out about a new taxi hailing app. Our discussion is about Fak'ugesi. Tegan Bristow is in studio for that one. How did it go this year, Tegan?
Really, really well. We're actually in day 9 of 10 days, so we've got Saturday to go, but it's going superbly.
All right, hold it there. We'll find out a bit more later in the program. Cool. All right, let's start with your technology and social media news first. Now, multinational software company Autodesk held its conference in Cape Town. There, they showcased an array of evolving technologies ranging from architectural design to drones.
Technology jargon such as IoT, singularity, artificial intelligence, autonomous vehicles, etc. have over the years become trends in the ICT sector. Now here at the Autodesk conference, we learn more about how these words have become part of the human life and not just plain industry talk. The software building company showcased what they say is the evolution of technology and the future of design and engineering in Africa.
I think the unique thing with Africa is that it's a continent where a lot of things is in development. If you go to Europe, it's a lot of legacy, it's a lot of old things, it's a lot of old people trained on 30-year-old software. In Africa, we see a lot of young people that is coming up, getting trained, using the newest tools because there's no legacy here, or not the same level of legacy as we see in other ways.
Theme The Future of Making Things becomes a reality. The Autodesk University Conference tackled a variety of subjects across industries. These included drone and motion picture technologies, architectural and 3D design, as well as artificial intelligence.
What's changing now is that machine learning and intelligence is making our robotic devices of all types more practical, more relevant. It's going to change the nature of work in some ways, and I think some jobs are going to disappear, but at the advantage of new jobs emerging now. And so I don't think we should be fearful of them, but I think we should educate ourselves.
Well, you heard it. Now, for those of you that thought that robots will be taking over your jobs, you can relax, because that's not going to happen. The 6th edition of Autodesk University South Africa took place in Cape Town, Century City, where they also launched tools that extended Revit models for virtual reality, fabrication, computational design, to name a few.
Kenyan ride-hailing app Little, set up a year ago to challenge Uber, has now grown to a network of 2,000 drivers, offering an average of 10,000 rides daily. It's now also available in Nigeria, where it plans to start services soon.
It's been a year since Lily Muriyuki signed up with Kenyan ride-hailing company Little, a local taxi call platform that seeks to compete with Uber. With a return of between $266 and $400 a week, Muriyuki is amongst a growing number of Kenyan women drivers who are joining Little. Little, which has a partnership with telecoms operator Safaricom, plans to scout for an investor in Silicon Valley next year to help it expand across Africa. There are not many young female taxi drivers in Kenya, and Lily says Little gives the opportunity to vet her customers and vice versa.
It's a unique company. To me, I think it's a unique company because there's an option for a client to choose from basic. There's a ladybug option. So mostly my clients are ladies and they choose the ladybug. So mostly my clients are ladies. So I prefer that they have the option. So mostly I get lady clients.
This one-year-old app has grown to challenge Uber for the top spot in the local market. Little has close to 5,000 drivers who can offer 12,000 rides a day in peak times, potentially putting them in second place after Uber. Uber Kenya said it has 5,000 active drivers and 345,000 active users without offering the figure of daily rides.
I think the journey has been good for last 1 year. We have learned a lot of things. For us, it was a new business, so we also took some time to learn a few things. but it has been very good. We have introduced a lot of new features. And I think you must understand why we have done this is because we are competing with some of the bigger players. And when you compete with bigger players, if you want to win, you can't win them on a capital, you can only win them on innovation. So that's where we have always been focusing on, coming up with innovative new things.
Little's parent company, Nairobi-based software developer Craft Silicon, has invested $6 million in the app. It plans to start operations in Nigeria in a month's time.
Plan is to get a big bus. Plan is to also get an electric bus. I think that the traffic is a big problem, and traffic and pollution is an issue in the city. So we feel that in whatever small way, if we can contribute to making it better, then that's why we are getting it an electric bus. That's why we're also getting it a nice bus where people would love. I mean, today somebody may not want to jump into a matatu just because he might feel that it's too crowded, it's too loud, it's not on time, it's not give a good bus which is extremely well designed.
Little also has a plan to start offering rides using motorcycles, locally known as boda bodas. It is also importing an electric bus that will offer shuttle services on set routes in Nairobi. A city clogged by traffic and pollution, allowing Little users to book their rides in the application.
I requested the Little cabs because you can request a woman. You can also go by 20 shillings per kilometer, which I find cheaper. You can also use the SOS cab, which is the security feature, which is also very, very efficient for me.
Little also offers extra features to beat other firms, such as SOS button on the app. If a customer feels unsafe for whatever reason during the trip and they press the button, they get an escort from the police or a partner security firm within 5 minutes, something that has been popular with customers. Other features include free Wi-Fi in all the cabs and an inbuilt electronic wallet offered in conjunction with Safaricom on the M-Pesa money transfer platform.
Deforestation is a problem in many parts of the world. In Ghana, they're now using a basic technology that they're hoping will reverse the trend. The technology is called the Groasis waterboxx.
According to the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, Ghana's closed forests depreciates at the rate of 182,000 hectares per 5 years. The open forests depreciates at the rate of 45,000 hectares per annum. However, the community is now filling up the deforested patches of land. Their target is to cover 5,000 acres of land with trees. To do so, they have embraced the Groasis waterboxx technology, an integrated watering skill that can sustain trees in dry, eroded deserts and rocky areas in all climatic conditions.
You first remove the top, then this one covers the water. First, this is the whole water box. This contains 5 liters of water, and the water is connected through this rope to the tray, and the water will be dropping one by one to the root of the tray.
The technology is the first of its kind in sub-Saharan Africa. The water can sustain a tree or a plant for 1.5 years. Once the plant is strong enough to grow on its own, the water box is removed and used again up to around 10 times. Compared to other watering techniques, this water-saving technology cocoon costs about $2.50 per year per plant.
We are appealing to the whole Africa. Let us all get involved so that we'll stop cutting the trees, we'll stop destroying our forestries, so that we can live for a long time.
Ghana's Adidome Farm Institute over the past months has been observing plants and crops planted with Groasis waterboxx and those dependent on watering from farmers.
We are using it to establish economic crops like mango, like guava, like cocoa. We'll visit the site and see. So we are testing the waterboxx on it.
Over the years, the residents have been volunteering to work on the farms in Mafianfoy. Their reward will be the results of the trees they have planted.
After the break, we'll chat about the Fak'ugesi African Digital Innovation Festival with Tegan Bristow from WITS. Stay with us.
Today on Rights and Recourse, we will unpack the new traditional court mode.
The idea of the bill is not to overregulate, to basically set the principles.
The most important aspect of this bill is that it understands that customary law by its nature is consensual, that I have a right to affiliate, I have a right therefore to opt in, and I have a right to opt out.
The opt-out provision is basically one that you've got to respect the court in the sense of if you've been summoned, you've got to tell the clerk of the court at least that you're not willing to attend.
The challenge that I would like to throw to the Department of Justice, it has to come up with mechanisms of ensuring that people who exercise their right to opt out or to opt in are not in any way victimized.
#Rights with Dumila Matez on legal issues every Sunday at 2 o'clock Central African Time.
It is SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. News Network at sabc.co.za on email. Welcome back. Now, the Fak'ugesi African Digital Innovation Festival has just ended in Johannesburg. The annual event brings together digital artists from across the continent and allows for some collaboration on the work that they do. To tell us more about this year's Fak'ugesi is Tegan Bristow, who is a senior lecturer and artist in interactive digital arts at WITS University. Hello, Tegan, and thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah, hi.
Tegan, what is Fak'ugesi?
Fak'ugesi is a festival of innovation, but specifically innovation around culture and creativity. And we really kind of want to bring culture and creativity together with technology because we feel that innovation and culture have to be simultaneous. They have to have a relationship and they have to work together.
All right. So you've been doing this for the last couple of years. You've been finding some good stuff, you find?
Yes, absolutely. Every year we just get bigger and bigger. This year has been enormous. We've had such a great time. It's been awesome.
If you can maybe briefly tell us about some of the art that has been coming out of the Digital Arts Festival for the last couple of years.
Sure. So actually every year we have a residency. So we basically get resident artists from the SADC region. So we work together with Pro Helvetia, the Swiss Arts Council, who have a fund specifically for SADC-based arts practice. And they've been collaborating with us to bring 3 young digital makers from the continent to our festival every year. And they live with us for about a month, and we mentor them, and they produce very, very beautiful work. So this year we've got 2 artists from Harare and 1 from Windhoek. And they've made, they opened an exhibition on the 8th, a very, very beautiful exhibition. And Dananai Maweniga basically does these incredibly beautiful digital paintings. So he takes portraits and paints them in Photoshop, and we printed them out really, really big, and they're just stunning. A little bit sort of superhero-ish, but really beautiful. Combo Chapvika, he produced 3 interactive works, very beautiful interactive works. One of them was a Kinect-based, Xbox Kinect-based interactive piece with these symbols that he'd produced, and as you stand, you catch the symbols in your hands, very beautiful. He made 2 amazing AR works. So while he was in Johannesburg, he was very interested in the street signs that we have. And there's one very particularly, which is the street hawker sign. So it's the street hawker with a sort of bar across it, like no hawking. And he's taken those and he's made augmented reality apps with them. So as you look at them, so that one, for instance, as you look at it through your phone, he pushes the bar across and he goes like, yay, because he can now hawk in that place. Yes, really, really awesome stuff.
It sounds like something that someone has to see. Especially the stuff that's that was created as part of the residency. Does it stay at Wits? Does it stay anywhere? Can people go and see it after the festival?
We have a lot of documentation online about that at the moment, but unfortunately from Sunday, which is we will be taking everything down. But yeah, we try and document everything. We have a video that people can come and see what's happened at the festival. So that should come out in a few weeks after, probably in October. And we'll make sure everyone sees it.
How do you decide on the residents that you invite? Let's say someone is a digital artist anywhere in Africa and they want to be a part of this in future.
Sure. So we put out a call usually around April every year. And that's a very sort of established call that goes out to all the sort of arts institutes within the SADC region. So we work with VANSA, the Visual Arts Network of South Africa. We also work within the sort of Cultural Institute networks, as well as the different hubs. And then people can apply, and we then choose 3 people out of usually about 40 applicants.
Tegan, does the work that you see differ from year to year, or is it the same work or similar stuff every year?
It's completely different every year, and I think it's really based on who's making stuff, and we found year on year that we're getting better and better candidates. So in our first year, it was a group of people, 1 from Zimbabwe and 2 from South Africa, who'd never exhibited before together and actually decided to collaborate. So they came together to produce a very, very beautiful work that was called Mambo-kadzi, so responding to women in the technology space. And they made these AR cards. And this year, their residents decided to go completely independently and make their own work.
And is it only in central Joburg? Is it in the northern suburbs of Joburg? How does that work? Who can go and see the stuff that you guys organize?
So we're pretty much based in Braamfontein, out of the Tsimologong precinct, which is a new innovation precinct just down from Wits. And we try and run our whole program out of that precinct, but we're also a little bit spread around in Braamfontein as well.
Tell us about Tsimologong. You say it's a new precinct?
Yeah, so it opened last year with our festival, in fact, but it's a precinct that is an extension of Wits, but it has many, many corporate partners, and it's basically the first sort of IT hub, innovation hub of the inner city of Johannesburg. It's been running for about a year. It's doing so incredibly well. They have an incubator program where people can come and develop tech little companies, and then once they develop that, they can go into an accelerator for 3 years to be further helped with their tech companies. There's a big skills exchange program. Yes, so if you go to, I think, tsimologong.com. Once
you go online, maybe, and then just Google Tsimologong, and the precinct should come up there.
Yes, yeah.
All right, thank you very much for joining us there, Tegan Bristow.
Great, thank you.
Tegan Bristow there is from Wits University, and she's been telling us about the Fak'ugesi festival that's been on in Johannesburg. Now, this week we caught up with Binami Baraza from popular Kenyan band Sauti Sol. He told us what his favorite technology is.
Girl, you got me missing your body. I hope you ain't kissing nobody.
Hey, my name is Binami Baraza, and my favorite innovation has to be Bluetooth. I love how Bluetooth bounces off devices. I love how I can watch something from my phone on the TV. I love how I can bounce something from my phone to a speaker, how I can sense like stuff from me to my friends. Like, I think Bluetooth has really changed the game.
You ain't kissing nobody.
with the stories of abuse from the other 8, but they haven't been ready to pursue any angles. They've offered their support, they've offered the comfort to the 8s, and it's been an amazing journey.
It feels like your heart actually literally sunk in your shoes.
It wasn't a long encounter. I think at the time I froze.
The way the criminal justice system deals with sexual violence is problematic. And I don't know, unless there's a fundamental change in many things, the way prosecutors deal with the victim in the matter.
For all investigative insights, stay tuned to Special Assignment every Saturday at 17:30.
News Network at SABC.co.za or SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Now, the iPhone 7 didn't do so well, but the big story this week was Apple's unveiling of the iPhone X. Many have been talking about its face recognition feature that unlocks the phone. Here's that and other stories that made international tech news in the last week.
A variety of eye-catching new techniques highlighted an expo featuring cloud computing in Shanghai. Cloud computing has become the infrastructure for many emerging technologies, big data, mobile internet, Internet of Things, and artificial intelligence, for example, in recent years. On display was an integrated management platform based on cloud computing, or CityBrain, which is an artificial intelligence hub that uses large amounts of data to help the city think and make decisions. The platform is capable of monitoring traffic and crowd density in a certain area and sounding alarms in case of abnormal situations.
It's proved that the platform can help with more than 25% of criminal cases. During the pilot period, it helped reduce the number of such cases by over 10%.
In addition, techniques on fighting viruses and hacker intrusion also drew attention at the event, which can effectively thwart financial frauds, for example. The 3-day expo concluded on Thursday. Moving to northern China in Tianjin, a blueprint is being prepared for the development of smart cars and promoting legislation for automatic driving.
We are drafting a strategic plan for innovative development of smart cars. We hope to clarify strategic direction, safeguard measures and top tasks for our vehicle development within a certain period to come. The plan will serve as a blueprint and action plan for the development of smart cars.
At the 2017 International Forum on Chinese Automotive Industry Development, Wu said smart cars are a new trend in the international technology reform and said China should respond to the trend and promote its development.
iPhone.
Apple has rolled out its much-anticipated iPhone X, a redesigned product of glass and stainless steel with an edge-to-edge display that Apple Chief Executive Tim Cook called the biggest leap forward since the original iPhone. The phone features wireless charging, an infrared camera and special hardware for facial recognition, which will replace the fingerprint sensor for unlocking the phone.
Unlocking it is as easy as looking at it and swiping up. And, let's try that again. Ho, ho, ho. Let's go to backup here.
It also has interactive emojis.
These are animated emojis. These are emojis that you control with your face. Emojis track more than 50 facial muscle movements. They've been meticulously animated to create amazing expressiveness.
The screen on the iPhone X is about the size of the current iPhone 7 Plus, though the iPhone itself is smaller. It features richer colors thanks to a new technology called OLED that the other vendors such as Samsung are also rolling out. Apple also introduced the iPhone 8 and the iPhone 8 Plus, which resemble the iPhone 7 line but have a glass back for wireless charging. Nokia has released its flagship phone. It is the new Nokia 8. Eloise Goebel has been playing around with it for the last week.
Now last week Nokia launched its new Nokia 8 and I was one of the lucky few who got to test drive it for a week. This pure Android device is dust and water resistant, comes with 4 GB of RAM and an additional 64 GB of storage. The camera system features 13 megapixel sensors, a dual mono or color system on the back and 1 unit in the front. It runs Qualcomm's premier Snapdragon 835 system on chip, which includes a Category 9 capable LTE modem, and can be unlocked via fingerprint. Now you're all familiar with 5 o'clock panic. It's almost 5 o'clock, you're on 7%, you need to charge your phone before you leave the office, that is. And here's the thing, this phone has what they call smart charge. You can charge it and for like half an hour you can have 50% battery life. I love that feature about the phone. The phone itself is very user-friendly and its slim look makes it non-bulky and attractive, not forgetting that it fits comfortably even in small hands. Now I know it's an easy thing to say, but one of my favorite things about this is the camera. They have a partnership with Zeiss, which makes it a really, really good camera, but it has this really unique feature where you can take a selfie. Well, it's actually called a both. You take a picture of yourself and what's going on around you. It's mainly used for live streamers, but it is an absolutely lovely tool. The camera system features 3 13-megapixel sensors, a dual mono-color system on the back and 1 unit on the front. While it does not have the latest LTE technology or top-end bells and whistles, it makes up for it in price and purity. If it's a pure Android experience you're after in a flagship device, the Nokia 8 is worth looking at.
This week, our Twitter poll has been asking you what you think about Apple's new face recognition. Now, the majority of respondents say they like it. That figure is at 44%. In last place are people who say they don't like it. That number is at 14%. 42% of respondents say they have to try it first before making up their minds about it. And that's all we have for you. Find us on SABC Network. Now that's on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. News Network at sabc.co.za on email. We leave you with the video of NASA's Saturn Cassini mission before its crash landing. The mission made some awesome discoveries on planet Saturn. From me and the rest of the network team, have a good one.